Oh my God, I just did a 5 minute segment and it wasn't recording. I apologize. Subscribe, rate, review if you like the show, guys. We got a great show. Alan Lee will not be here. Victor Pacheco will not be here. As I was saying um, before, maybe it's time for me just to be a lone ranger and not rely on sidekicks. You know what I mean? But anyways, we got a great show coming up, and it's gonna be fun. He's been on the show before, and he's a good buddy of mine, and we'll see what he's going up. He's going up and how he's living life. I'm gonna try and talk him into doing stand-up comedy. You see him in Young Guns, Contact, and Forrest Gump. The great Geoffrey Blake will be here. So do not go anywhere. Stay put, and we'll see you on Raise the Riffs with Geoffrey Blake, Part 3, baby.
You're listening to Reza Riffs with Keith Reza and Alan Lee, right here on LA Talk Radio.
Hey, there you
Geoffrey,
having it, man.
long time no see, buddy. How are you?
A while. You're busy, man, on the road, making people.
Yeah,
I love it.
I've convinced 4 people to take me on the road with them.
That's
So,
who are you going on the road with?
TJ Miller,
Okay.
Paul Rodriguez, Pablo
Yeah.
Francisco, and Jamie Lysol.
Wow, that's nothing to sneeze at. Those are some great comics.
Yeah, and then I'm trying to convince you into doing stand up so I could go on the road with you.
I would love that. You'll have to coach me up, man. Yeah, that's good. And now I'm on strike. I need a gig, so I need some of right. Screen Actors Guild, strong, proud. I just got off the picket line, actually.
Oh,
Straight to you.
was it busy at the pickup line?
Yeah. Busy at the picket line. I was actually out with Cameron Manheim, if you know who she is.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
nice.
so we walking the line together. We
Well,
go wait.
let's do it,
Paul
man.
Rodriguez. My wife was an actress briefly, and she was on a show called Head of the Class. And Paul Rodriguez, baby mama, was my wife's stand-in.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so they're still really good friends. And so I know P-Rod a little bit, the skater.
Skateboarder, yeah.
Yeah, the skater. I've never really met him, but my son, my 14-year-old is a big skater. And so he's a big fan of P-Rod. So during the pandemic, he was celebrating his 13th birthday. So I got P-Rod to do like a videotape for my 13-year-old.
Oh.
It turns out that P-Rod is like a huge
He's more famous than Paul.
Oh, totally. And Richard. And so he richer than all of us.
Yeah, I know.
He ended up he was a huge Forrest Gump fan.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he knew me from Forrest Gump. So
that's where I know you. That's the claim to flame hitting Jenny.
Yeah, that's right. That's the calling card. The wife, the girlfriend beating mother effer that I was.
Yeah. But
Yes.
no, man. Yeah. Well, let's meet up, and I would love to teach you because obviously, I think you're the funniest guy. I think you would be great at stand up. So I think that would be fun.
I don't know. I have friends. I have who's another friend? Marilyn Reshko is a
Rice Cup. Yeah.
Reshko. She's an acquaintance.
Yeah.
Our kids went to school together. So.
All right, man. Well, hey, it's good to see you. I'm glad everything's going well for you.
Starburst and drinking a Topo Chico.
Oh, I'm drinking a Pepsi Zero. It says
Excellent.
New improved taste, but I can't taste the difference.
I'm pretty sure the last time we did this, I was probably drinking an IPA out of a Yeti. I think
you were.
Yeah, and I have stopped drinking since then, so hopefully I'm still as funny. But
congratulations, man! Oh man.
Long time coming.
Yeah. Wow. So I remember last time we got a lot of Twitter questions for you, and
Yeah.
this time we got a lot of Twitter questions too. So
Cool.
you're
I
killing it on Twitter.
I actually just out of for political reasons, I canceled my Twitter account.
Did you really?
I did, man. I can't do the Elon Musk of it all, man. I just
I think
anybody
he ruined Twitter. Yeah.
totally, man. I'll go do some threads, I guess. I'm
Threads
actually
is great. You would
yeah,
love Threads.
I'm on a social media vacation. But
Uh,
I told
let's
my
be threaders.
yeah, I told my Instagram people I'll be back, but I just need a little break.
Yeah.
And as far as Twitter is like, I'm sorry. As soon as he did the launch Tabasco for the Grand Wizard of Florida, I couldn't I couldn't do it anymore. When he's trying
Yeah.
to promote Ron DeSantis, the most anti everything human being on the planet. So
The one good thing I will say that Musk did for Twitter is get rid of the spam robots. But then
okay,
when he started charging
yeah.
for your check mark, I was like, okay, now this is just becoming like a dating site. You know what I mean?
No, it's funny. Apparently I'm not who I am because apparently I'm not authenticated. They won't authenticate me on Instagram. I'm not who I am,
Yeah.
and they never would on Twitter either.
But for $25 they would. Like,
Now they would, yeah, for $25 they would tell me I'm allowed to call myself myself. That's great, thank you. And then yeah, and who else? But they did, because I know you, which is important.
yeah.
Because I know you, I am who I am on Cameo. I actually am me there.
Yeah. I got
So
you on
yeah,
Cameo. I forget.
you
Yeah.
did. They
Are you
authenticated
killing
me.
it on Cameo?
Oh no, definitely not. I owe you like about $56, I think, something like that. Some somebody on Father's Day was a fan of Forrest Gump, and I sent him a something. Happy Father's Day.
Well,
So,
I think right now Cameo is going to go back because I think Cameo was big during COVID,
right,
because
that
and
makes
then
sense.
now I think now it's going to go. So I think like yeah,
Well, hey, I mean, if I can be mentioned in the same breath as Tom Arnold, I am just I'm living the dream, baby.
I love Tom Arnold.
So do I.
I
I just give
just
him a big
interviewed
hug.
him
I
the other
give him a
day.
big hug. It's one of those convention things. He was
Yeah,
like he was like across the aisle from me.
yeah,
And then Eric Roberts was right to my right. There was a Roberts Arnold triangle. And then
yeah.
there was Bai Lee, some Chinese action star girl who was barely dressed. It turns out she actually lives in my building. It's like,
Oh
what?
my God! Did you get a picture of her?
No. And then none of us were getting any business. Nobody cared. All anybody cared about was whoever the woman was who was, I can't even tell your name. The
Yeah.
woman who was the mom or the star of Chucky. I don't know who
Oh,
she is.
Jennifer Tilly.
No, not Jen. I know Jennifer really well. She and I did a series together when
Yeah,
we were
I
19.
love Jennifer. She's
Yeah,
the
me too.
sweetest.
And we were in class together at Peggy Furious, and so is Meg, her older sister. So I'm Tilly Strong.
Okay, so it's somebody else.
Yeah, whoever the woman, I think she was the mom in Chucky, maybe,
Hmm.
but she was
Oh, the original Chucky.
yeah, the original Chucky.
Okay, yeah.
So there was lines around the reason she was getting people lines that she had Chucky there.
Oh, nice.
She had the Chucky doll, and so they could take
Original.
with her in the original Chucky. So
Oh, you know, I think that this story is actually to this because about 7 or 8 years ago, what I did was I interviewed people at Comic Con.
that's what they were. It was one of those. This was
Yeah,
called HorrorCon.
yeah. And
Yeah.
I got paid, I don't know, $5,000 to do it, and I thought it was the worst job ever because you know me, like I'm better longer time, I'm better. Shorter time, I'm not so good. And so you have to interview all these people, and you have 2 minutes, right? I'm interviewing a guy who does a voiceover on a video game, and I have to act like I'm a big fan of the video game. I'm like, oh my God, this is so awkward. So I would make jokes. I would be like, so in the video game, what was it like being the main guy? And the guy was like, oh, I was the first character to die. I was like, yeah, the main guy to die.
Yeah. And dude,
I
I
just
got like something
ruined
the
this
other
whole
day.
Comic-Con interview thing, and they were gonna put it up and stuff.
I got some guy reach out to me on Instagram, like, and he was showing me a, a, a character in a video game. And then he sent me the voice. He goes, I've been hunting down who this character is. What I love this character in this video game. And I was hunting down who the actor was that played it. And he sent me a track of something. I go, yeah, that's me. No idea what the hell you're talking about, but okay. I don't quite remember being the voice in this video game. And I don't know. Okay. Yeah, I guess they paid me probably. Great. I'm glad you loved the work. Thank you. Supposedly I played something else in it too. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Oh
I
my God.
and I was at HorrorCon, like I've only done one horror movie in my entire career. And
HorrorCon's fun though.
I did Critters 3. That was
Yeah. We
yeah.
actually have a question on Critters 3. You want to just skip to that question?
Sure, let's go. Let's start doing some questions.
But no, finish your story for Critters 3.
No, so I was just I was lamenting. I said, had I known that Chucky was there, I would have brought the critter and had him be there. We were very close anyway, because the fact of the matter is, on the day that I had to be eaten by the critter. I had to get my throat eaten out by the critter. The mechanical critter broke down, so it wasn't working. So I literally had to stick my hand up its ass and operate it like a puppet.
Oh my God.
So while I was dying, but I'm also having to squeeze the mouth onto my blood spurting everywhere. It's like, yeah, it was one of my certainly one of my more proud moments as an actor, for sure.
You had to do the death and the stunt.
And the stunt and the visual effect. Yeah, I did all the departments. It was a Roger Corman film, so that's kind of the way Roger rolled.
They should have paid you double for that.
Did I get paid? I don't remember. It's like, I do remember that I was such a goof, because one of my favorite actors and favorite people, one of my dear friends in life, is Joe Pantoliano from The Sopranos. Guy was Ralphie and Guido the Killer Pimp, risky business guy. He should come to your show, actually. And anyway, so I remember auditioning for this guy named Frank something, it was some Italian last name, the superintendent of the building that the critters were infesting. And so I just went in, and then when I did the audition, I just did Joey Pants. I played him like that the whole time. Like, my name's Frank. Hey, yeah. I just literally mimicked Joey Pants and the part. So I should send him the royalties. I did that twice, actually. I did that on another movie called Fern Gully, The Last Rainforest, an animated movie, where I literally just did Joey's voice.
Well, do you think that also includes, I mean, I know your acting stuff, but that also includes like your friendship and stuff? Because I think in everyday life, you take habits from your friends. That's what makes you.
Oh, I mean, Joey, I mean, he has the most distinct voice of any actor on the planet. That whole, like, what are you doing? What the fuck? And he's easy to do. I got him a gig once too. So,
where you're even.
Yeah, I was doing a movie called Nightbreaker with Emilio Estevez and Martin Sheen playing the same characters, older and younger.
This is so weird, because we have a question about Nightbreaker.
Well, there you go. And some actor dropped out that was playing the sergeant of these guys.
Yeah.
And I said to Emilio, hey, call Pants. He'll come do it. He'd be hilarious. He'd be great.
Yeah.
They called Pants and he did it. So.
Well, here's the Critters 3 question.
Excellent. I'm ready.
Geoffrey.
Did an interview yesterday. I did an interview yesterday for them for some book they're writing about it.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that this movie was that big of a cult following.
Either did I.
Oh my God.
You know why it is? It's because it was the first movie that Leonardo DiCaprio was in.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's the kid in it.
Yeah, so, that's actually what this question kind of says. Okay. It says, Geoffrey, did you know Leonardo was going to be a huge star after doing Critters 3?
No, I did not. But I did know, and I did tell him that I went to the screening. Because I think Gump was out anyway, I remember being in the Paramount Theater, this on lot one, and the one that's kind of Spanish and really nice. And a friend of mine, executive produced a movie he was in that was just about to come out. And I was standing next to him in the back of the theater. And I said, Leo, after the credits rolled, I said, dude, buckle your seatbelt, man. You are about to become a major movie star. He goes, no, this is Johnny's movie. It was at Gilbert Grape. What's Eating Gilbert Grape?
Right.
And he was so good in that movie. And he just, I think he got an Oscar nomination for it, actually. But I knew from that moment on that the guy was going to be just huge. And he's charming and he's gorgeous. And, he was born to be a movie star. He's got he knows how to be a movie star. I mean, I did the same thing with Clooney as well. Clooney and I were in class together, and it was just so clear that George Clooney was born to be a movie star.
And then he did Batman.
Well, yeah, that's okay. So then he did, but Keaton's still Batman. He's just did it.
No, but honestly, I think Batman helped his career.
It's better than Affleck's Batman. I'll say that.
I think Batman helped his career because after Batman, he started doing great movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, ER is where he became, known.
I was going to say One Fine Day, but we could stick with ER.
He is, to me, I knew him a little bit. I mean, obviously, another person I was in class with for a bit, but and his producing partner and I went to theater school together, Grant Heslov. But I think George is one of the nicest guys in Hollywood. He's one of the classiest guys in Hollywood. He has, standards and quality, and his work is always solid. And he just, whenever you're in his presence, he's just charming as hell. I mean, he is charming. There's nothing to not like about George Clooney, unless you just hate somebody who's so charming, gorgeous, rich, and has a beautiful wife and lives on Lake Como. I mean, come on.
But there's also nothing not to like about Geoffrey Blake.
Oh, I don't know. There's a few probably don't like.
Really? I think you're the sweetest guy in the world.
There's the guy who lives below me in this where I live here on this beautiful waterway.
He probably hates it.
I heard from a neighbor. I heard from a neighbor that he said to him, "I would like to put a bullet in his head." So there you go.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
My son produces music and does it in the house, and he hates. And I'm doing this right now, so he's hearing this. Hello. So I teach my class out here where I'm sitting right now too. So he doesn't like it.
So Geoffrey, here's a question for you. Have you ever been a guest star on a TV show where you thought your character should have stayed on the TV show?
Yes, actually. And there were several where the character ended up doing more than just the guest star. He ended up becoming recurring and doing a few episodes. There was a show called, I think it was called Homefront. It was Kyle Chandler, young Kyle Chandler. Kelly Rutherford was the girl. And that one I just had one episode where I played a pro baseball player. And it was like during World War II. And that one I ended up doing like 7 episodes, I think. Yeah. There was another show where I just was a guest lead in the pilot called Agent X with Sharon Stone. And then I think I was contracted to do 2 or 3. I think I ended up doing again 6 or 7. And then the one producer was fighting really hard for them not to kill me. And I was going to be a regular the next season, but then they ended up killing me. And then I was the head of the CIA. And then they got such letters in saying that like I was their favorite character on the show. So then if they hadn't got picked up for season 2, there was a whole episode written that I had faked my death and that I was in exile as a CIA operative and that the whole thing was a ruse and I was doing it to set up somebody and I was going to come back in season 2. But that never happened.
That's awesome. So what's that like to like when you're acting like that and that like your character, the fans want to come back?
Yeah, that feels really great. And there was another I did another show last year called Bridge and Tunnel with Ed Burns.
I love Ed Burns.
Yeah, so do I. It was so great. So I did the last 2 episodes of the season, which I think was their season 2. And I did the last 2 episodes where I was playing basically I was playing a fashion designer so in the 80s. So a and my wife was the other fashion designer, but we're very Halston-ish. I was very sexually ambiguous, probably having sex with her and with the models, both male and female. And he was
For the
it was
character.
oh yes, it was it was a fabulous character. He was just fat. Wore scarves. That's where the scarves came. And we were scheduled to be the girl who I did it with. She was wonderful. That played my wife. We were scheduled to be regulars the next season. It was going to be a whole thing about because I was Eddie Byrne's daughter's. She was working for me.
Yeah.
So Eddie Burns is the best. It's you would love. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
It's scripted, but it's not. It's you okay. Well, you do one take as scripted, and then from that point on, it's just improvisation. Just do it. Him screaming out, "Try this, do that." It's the most fucking fun I've ever had shooting.
Yeah.
And he's so great. Again, talking about charming and nice and funny and humble and hilarious. And it turns out that actually his wife is a supermodel.
Really?
Yeah,
I can believe that with a name like Ed Burns.
Christine Turlington, who she was one of the biggest supermodels, in the 90s.
Yeah.
Christine Turlington. I mean, she's gorgeous, and it turned out that Christy Turlington and I, she's younger than I am, but we went to the same high school.
Oh,
the same small town in Northern California. And she was same time as Cindy Crawford. They were like
right.
they were the same amount of fame.
So did she reject you back then?
No. She's much younger than I am.
Oh, okay.
That would have been weird. But I did. There's a place called Danville, California, in Northern California. And so, but I did say, Ed, so could you, and Christy had an older sister as well. And I said, well, could you give your wife a message just tell her thank you? And he goes, why? Because of her, I will never be the most famous guy from Danville, California. I will never be Christy Turlington.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's kind of like me at Fountain Valley High School. Like this guy was on the show. I don't remember what show, but his name was Bo, and he was like the main kid on the show. And like I was just like, but he was on the show when he went to school. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
Yeah.
He hasn't done anything since then. And now I'm like, I'm not an A-lister, I'm a D-lister, F-lister. But
you are on the list.
But I am on the list.
That's it. We just care about being on the list. I don't get a grade. I don't know what I am. I'm.
So everyone's like, you'll never be as famous as Bo. I was like, well, you could Google me and more pops up than Bo.
So you beat Bo.
I beat Bo. That's what I'm saying.
The other Bo. But what was that? What was the Nike theme for Bo Jackson?
I don't know.
But
you have a name like Bo, you're going to make a great comeback. So you can't burn him.
Yeah. I used to compare when I drank beer, my beer drinking days. I used to compare myself to the Bridges brothers because I look little enough that I could be their cousin.
So, I thought for sure you were. Like when I first met you, I was like,
I would say, well, which one? And I said, well, it depends on how much beer I drink. If I'm drinking that much beer, I'm Jeff Bridges. If I'm drinking a lot of beer, I'm Bo Bridges. So
I think maybe it's the hat too, because you wore something similar last time. So.
Yeah, I wear hats and scarves and glasses. That's my thing. So I lost a lot of weight because I'm not drinking beer. So there you go.
Congratulations, man. I've gained a lot of weight because I'm getting a lot more work. So I get money. I'm like,
I also just got over 6 weeks of mononucleosis.
Oh my God. That's why. Oh my God. That's terrible.
Yeah. My 14-year-old got it and I somehow got it. So,
but you're good now.
Yeah, I'm fine. I lost 20 pounds because you just sweat a lot.
Oh my God. I want that.
Start kissing 14-year-olds. I don't know. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
No, definitely not. That was a joke for the folks at home.
Yeah, joke.
I hate all these woke people, like, oh my God.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like, what happened to a sense of humor? You know what I mean? Oh, Lord. Uh, this question says, Geoffrey, is there someone that you've never worked with that you wish you would work with?
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Uh,
Didn't he just retire?
yeah, I know. So that won't happen.
Oh,
Who else would I like to work with? I'd like to work with a lot of the greats. I would love to work with
John
I'd love to work with,
Cusack?
my wife worked with John Cusack actually. When she was acting. She was the first girl he hit on in The Sure Thing. I never
Nice.
worked with John, but I'd met John many times because he was, we were all kind of in the teen movies at the same time. And I met him through Charlie. I met him through C. Thomas Howell a few times. I'd love to work with Denzel. He's one of my heroes.
Denzel Washington?
Yes, Denzel
Oh, okay.
Washington. You know they're famous when you can just use one name.
Oh, okay,
Denzel.
okay.
Like you can't say Tom. I've worked with all the Toms. You have to say Tom. You have to say which Tom. There was a wonderful character actor who passed away recently. My age, actually, Willie Garson. He was one of my a good friend. And he passed away way too young. He was on Girls and Sex in the City, actually.
Yeah.
And he was famous for that amongst all of us. He would just say like it was so great. He was kind of the Jewish Joey Pantoliano. And he'd like say, I was just having lunch with Tom. And you'd say, Tom who? And you go,
Tom Arnold.
Hank. Well, no, that was a Comic-Con. No, he'd say Hank Cruz or whichever Tom it was. And then at his funeral, it was really cool. It was the most amazing memorial ever. And he basically knew he was going to die. He had pancreatic cancer. And so he basically produced his own memorial, which was kind of with the people who created Big Mouth, actually, Flackett Levins, and they produced it with him. So, but there was a wonderful writer, comedy writer, who got up and told a story about Willie, about the name dropping, and he said that finally he just called bullshit on, because he goes, I was having lunch with Elvis, and he goes, you did not know Elvis. Elvis was dead by the time that you didn't know. Bullshit. And he goes, Costello. And then he goes, the guy says to him, he goes, you do not know Elvis Costello. Okay.
Right.
No. Yes, you wear the same glasses and you love his music, but you do not know Elvis Costello. Right? Is what he says. And then on cue, my friend, at the memorial, from backstage, out steps Elvis Costello.
Oh my God.
Yes. And he played a cover of some song for Willie, and it was most magical. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Such a great, loving tribute to a great guy. He is another one of us, one of the great character actors, that kind of the mayor of Hollywood in a lot of ways. It was an amazing
I'm not a character actor. I'm a character comedian.
You're a character comedian. Okay, so
I'm in the group. As long as I'm
Tom Arnold group, there you are.
But no, I kind of do, in a weird way. I kind of do like the guys who do name dropping, even though if it's bullshit, because you could kind of fuck with them in a way where like you could have like a conversation with somebody, and then like you talk to your friend who's in that conversation, you walk like, and you're like, oh, the bullshit away, and be like, well, yeah, but at least he knows John Cusack.
Cusack's been on fire. He was the only thing I was enjoying on Twitter. He's been great.
I'm obsessed with. I mean, I'm sure you know this, but I have like a weird obsession with John Cusack.
Like, no, I didn't know that, but I understand it. I think Say Anything is the greatest teen movie ever made.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude. Even his bad movies, I love. Like, it's like, and then
Kickboxing, Sport of the Future.
Yeah. And he was so right.
Yeah, I know. Such a good movie. Oh my God, he's so good. Grifters. Oh my God, he's so good in that movie.
Yeah.
The actress I would love to work with more, it's going to surprise people. Most of you don't even, only know her from television. But one of my very favorite actresses is an actress named Mary Louise Parker.
Wow.
And I would love to work with Mary Louise Parker. And I've seen her on Broadway, on stage, and so many things. And to me, she's one of the more, and she was on Weeds for 6 or 7 years. She was the lead on Weeds. So she's the actress I would want to most work with, actually.
So I'm not saying this has happened, but can happen. But I kind of know Kevin Nealon just from previous
Yeah,
contacts.
yeah. So do I, through Andy Milder, who was on that show.
So I could text Kevin and say, "Hey, Kevin, my best friend Geoffrey Blake has a dream."
Right now, she's doing a miniseries for a producer that I would never work for again. So that's that
Oh,
one.
then I would say, Kevin, ignore that text.
No, I think there's one producer is the only person I would never. I won't say his name, but would
Okay.
never work for him again. And nor
So
would
that,
he ever hire me again. So there you have it.
so this one says, Geoffrey, did you know Brink was going to be a good kids movie?
That's so funny. I was literally everything's coincidental today. I was literally just talking with Cameron Manheim about Brink. And because Cameron Manheim's son is like this huge Disney movie star. He's Milo Manheim. And he's in all the I think he's in some sort of horror, some sort of zombie, I think some sort of zombie thing on Disney. Um, and he's this big star in Disney World, and the Disney Channel. And so I said, yeah, it's weird. I did this Disney movie way back when that I literally did it because I thought the director was kind of a fun guy, but I and asked me to do it. And I mostly did it because I could walk to the set.
Right.
I was living on the Venice canals at the time, and they were shooting at the handball courts, where the skating place is now,
Oh,
and right next to the Muscle Beach. So I literally could walk. And
I've never seen it. It
so
was a Twitter question.
total dude. I know that to me it's
I have
amazing.
no idea what you're talking
It
about.
has such a put it okay. How would I describe that movie? It's Karate Kid on rollerblades.
Okay.
And I'm basically the bad guy. I'm the basically what's his name from Karate Kid, the big blonde guy. Uh,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I'm basically the bad guy. I'm the corporate greed coach promoter of Team X, and these are ragtag guys that are like the Ralph Macchio character.
So
The
no acting experience on that one.
Yeah, no, the character's name was Jimmy. And I borrowed Charlie Sheen's blue glasses that he wore because it just seemed very Jimmy like, or they sent him to me. I think they were uh, uh, some famous skate. I can't remember the one that has the 8 ball is the insignia. Can't think of what it is. But anyway, they sent me a bunch of these glasses, and so to this day, there's a certain age. There's like people who are like I'd say like 30 now, 31, 32. This was like their favorite movie. This
So
Brink
this was
movie.
like the movie for them.
Yeah. I mean, this is like if I see the stare from the 30-year-old, I know Jimmy, I know it's coming.
Oh my God.
Stussy. That was it. There was Stussy glasses.
Next time I see you, I'm just gonna call you Jimmy.
Jimmy. So thank God I guess look enough like him still. That's good.
This one says, Geoffrey, honestly, did you really enjoy Castaway?
Um, yes. I was just talking about that on the picket line as well. I was talking about that with Cameron Manheim because she had just gotten back from Hawaii with Helen Hunt. And Helen Hunt and I were basically the entire first act of Castaway. It was
Yeah.
me, Helen, and Chris Noth, the other guy from Sex and the City, Big Mr. Big. And so I was his boss at FedEx. And there was a whole thing about whether he was going to take Christmas off or whether he was going to spend the time with Helen. And she was, telling me I was overworking him and blah, 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 blah. The entire first act of the movie was cut.
Oh my God.
So
I was gonna say I don't recall this.
No, it was totally cut. So Bob Zemeckis decided to start the movie on the plane crash. So Helen's briefly in it at the very end, and I'm briefly in it at the very end. You have no contact. I'm his boss still when he's come back, and we're welcoming him back at some reception, and he's staring at the crab as if it's a horror show.
Did you hug him and say you lost weight?
No, I think I do say something to him though. Say, hey, we'll talk soon or something. I pat him on the back.
We'll talk soon before you sue me for putting you on that plane.
Something and like that, I pat him on the chest, and the thing about it is that what's so great about that film, for an actor's point of view, while we're talking about residuals and things with the strike, the residuals from that movie are greater than any movie ever done.
Really?
Yes, because thank God those two lines are still in that movie, because the way the SAG, I don't know how what we're doing
Oh,
now.
because there's only like 10 people in the
There's
whole
only
movie.
like 10 people in the whole
Yeah.
movie who talk.
Yeah.
We all get that cut up that pie, other than Tom.
Oh my God.
So
So
that's a
Castaway is a great movie for Geoffrey Blake.
great movie with Geoffrey Blake. And I got to spend time in Memphis and hear all the great music and eat all that great food, and got to hang out with Helen Hunt, and yeah, it's cool.
This is from Twisted Viv 94X2.
Okay, sounds. Was I in that?
I don't know.
Uh,
Geoffrey, is it true you were an assistant on a Jennifer Coolidge movie?
no,
Okay.
I don't know. Jennifer Coolidge is a director, right?
Oh no, she's an actress. She's fuck. What she's on that show. She's like Stifler's mom.
Okay, no, I've
No.
never been an assistant on a movie.
Okay. That's cool. Uh Geoffrey, have you guys ever found Casey? This is from a Young Guns reunion.
No, sightings. We have the. I guess I can't talk about that right now.
Okay.
We have the thing coming out, and I'm not allowed to promote it. So anyway, strike that. We'll then Razor Rift 3. We'll talk about that.
340.
Yeah.
Right.
No. I do talk to Dermot all the time. And I actually was supposed to walk the line with Dermot today, but talk to Lou Diamond all the time. Talk to Emilio just on Sunday. Actually was talking to him, texting back and forth between the three of us. No. Casey is somewhere in Chicago. We know that. I don't think he's acting anymore.
Maybe he's hanging out with John Cusack.
Maybe he was kind of in that circle. And maybe, yeah, I think he was actually. I think he was part of that. What's the other guy on Entourage? What's his name?
Jeremy Piven.
Piven's parents were acting teachers.
Yeah.
So, and I know Nina, his sister, is quite still an actress. And I've never reached out really to her. I never really knew her, but so I would love to be in contact. I loved Casey. Casey and I did 2 movies together. We did another teen movie called Secret Admirer that C. Thomas Howell was in. And I got married.
That guy disappeared too, didn't he?
Yeah, he's kind of back. He had a nice resurgence on Southland, the TV cop. And Tommy was the best man at my wedding. He was because my
but that's only because we didn't know each other.
And because the guy who was going to be my best man was doing a play and they wouldn't let him out. So Tommy stood in, the blazer fit him. And so, I can always tell like my kid was reading The Outsiders last year. And so, yeah, Pony Boy.
That's a great book.
Yeah. Pony Boy was your dad and mom's best man. So
do you think, speaking of The Outsiders, do you think that that's one of those rare books that the book is actually way better than the movie? Like,
I think they're both pretty great, but definitely, I think it's one of the great. I think it's one of the most classic movie books ever written.
Yeah, because I have this thing where like movies are based on books. Either if I watch the movie, I don't want to read the book, or if I read the book, I do want to watch the movie to see if it's better or if they messed it up.
Right, it's true, and I can tell you that Forrest Gump is a better movie than the book.
Oh yeah, definitely. I was going to say that too.
Yeah.
Geoffrey, do you have any cool Jack Palance stories?
First of all, I love Jack Palance. We would go. It's not bullshit. The one-arm push-up thing.
Yeah.
He would come on the set of Young Guns in front of all of us young guns, and he was the old gun, and he would do that one-arm push-up thing right before he'd do the thing, and then he'd say, "Sign me in." So yeah, he would. That was definitely the thing. No, Palance loves sushi. You wouldn't think he's a sushi So he would always like call me up in the room and say, Geoffrey, it's Jack. Let's go get some sushi. So I would have sushi with pallets.
Oh my God.
And Terrence Stamp was the other older gentleman on that.
But he's still with us.
He is still with us.
Yeah.
And I remember right when we got back from Young Guns, and he was staying at the Chateau Marmont. And he calls me up on the phone and says, "Yes, Geoffrey, it's Terrence Stamp, most distinguished gentleman ever." I said, "Yes, Terrence, how you doing, man?" He goes, "Well, you seem to be a person who knows things." And I go, "Okay, I guess." I'm sitting here in my bungalow. Of course you are, and I'm looking out at this. I'm looking out at this billboard of this very, very fetching young woman. How would I meet her?" And I said, "Well, I know exactly who you're talking about. And she's married to Harry Connick Jr. So I guess
First thing you gotta do is you gotta get rid of Harry.
Yeah, you gotta, find a way to get some strychnine in the water that he drinks at the piano. And
Oh my God. I interviewed Christy Swanson the other day.
cool.
And yeah, like huge first crush. Anyways, between you and me, but she told me off air. She said this, like, and it's not on the podcast, but she said this off air. If anything happens to my husband, you got dibs.
Who's her husband?
So then I Googled her and I realized, she has a kid. So,
Well, make
Christy,
sure
I love you. If you listen, I love you.
Yeah, make sure he has life insurance. That's all you gotta do. And it's an accident.
So I have one more question, but I have two Dear Geoffrey letters. So the question I want to say for the end, because I've been usually closing it out with this question, but
okay, let me get the Dear Geoffrey letters then.
Okay. Dear Geoffrey, this one's actually kind of sad. Dear Geoffrey, my daughter lost her voice in a tragic accident, but she wants to be an actress. Is there any hope for her? And have you ever worked with someone who cannot talk as an actress?
I have not. But there's always hope. There's always some, I assume she signs. So it would be an interesting thing to see if, because she doesn't speak, it might be interesting for her to try to find, there's a couple wonderful, I don't know where they are, but there's a couple wonderful in LA, there's in New York, there's one in Chicago. There's great theater of the deaf. And that's where, Children of the Lesser God and where the latest movie where the guy won the Oscar recently. Remember the one who had that Kate, he won Best Supporting. I can't remember the name of it, but a great movie with it. It was a speaking daughter who had deaf parents.
Yeah.
And it won Best Picture too. I can't remember the name of the movie, but Coda, Children of Deaf Adults. Coda, the movie's Coda. And so I would think that a nonverbal actress would be in the same category as a deaf actor.
Yeah.
So I would think that if she's proficient in sign, which she has to be probably, there's certainly a career for her. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah. There's also this stand-up comedian who's on America's Got Talent right now. He can't talk, but he uses a computer phone voice to tell his jokes.
So there's that too, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be cool. All right. This one is Dear Geoffrey. I wrote this one actually.
Okay, so you don't have to claim it though. You can
say I don't want to tell you. I think you could get it. Dear Geoffrey, huge fan of yours. In fact, I've been trying to interview one of your buddies for the past year, but their PR team never responds and think I'm crazy. Can you help?
Yes. Who is it?
Dermot.
It's one of my best friends in the world.
Okay, excellent.
Consider it done.
All right.
Consider it done. Had he had come to the picket today. We had plans to picket the picket. If we had stayed longer, and we missed each other. I was actually contemplating doing this interview with him from the picket line.
He's so great. Oh my God.
I will make sure that happens.
Thank you so much.
Matter of fact, I will text him right now, live on the air.
Oh,
okay?
You are so. Here we go. Because I've booked him twice on Cameo just to try and get this.
Here we go. Dermot Mulroney. I'm not lying. Hey, Derm. Hey, man. I'm doing a live podcast right now. With one of my fave peeps. Reza. Podcast is called Reza. It put the V for some reason, or I said it. I'm typing and saying it at the same time. Reza podcast is called Reza Riffs. He's fucking great. And he really wants you as a guest.
Oh my God. You're the best.
As a guest, you will kill. You guys would be great together. You guys would kill.
Oh my God, Geoffrey Blake, I love you so much. That would be awesome.
I'll give you more deets when we see each other. But definitely do it. Okay. And you will witness I am sending.
Oh,
there you go.
Geoffrey Blake, I love you. You are my hero. Oh my God.
That will happen. You'll another guy from Chicago. So
yeah. Because I've tried
yeah,
his management, his PR.
They're a PR, they're publicists. There's all gotta go.
I tried Cameo too. I even booked him on Cameo.
Yeah, don't worry. Well, now you got him. You got the GB hookup.
Oh my God. All right. And then the last question for you, Geoffrey Blake.
Yes, Mr. Razor Lips.
If you could go in a time machine and talk to a younger Geoffrey Blake, what would you tell him? Did you talk about this today too?
I was just about to get back to Reza Swamp. Let him know I haven't forgotten.
Yeah.
Cool. You'll love it. You'll love him. Hang on. I'll say dig him. That's even better. You'll dig him. All right. My second time on.
You are the best.
Okay. So, my second time on.
Technically, it's your third. The first time we did
third, right? My second/third time on. See, look at this. I'm booking your guests for you while we're time on.
Oh my God! You should be the new co-host, Jeff.
I'll co-host it with you when he does it.
Let's do it.
Let me know. I'll pop in. That's how fun it is. All right. So, shoot me that question again.
Geoffrey, if you could go to in a time machine and talk to a younger version of Geoffrey Blake, what would you tell him?
Save your money. Save your money. Private school is expensive. And And in 2023, you're going to have to be on strike because people don't pay you what they used to.
Yeah, that's good advice.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say don't kiss 14-year-olds.
Well, no, I didn't. I actually just probably drank out of the same water. But yeah. So that would be my advice, literally, to any actor. Save your money, man. Don't just because you get like your that one series or something. Don't think that it's funny. I can remember. I was doing a mini series called Texas Rising, and it was about 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago, and I was sitting on a horse in the middle of Durango, Mexico, which is the home of El Chapo, and it was me, and I was like one of the leads, but the lead was Billy Paxton. May he rest in peace. One of my dear friends, and Billy was the lead. He played General Sam Houston. It was all about how we stole Texas from Mexico. And so I was sitting on the horse, and then it was me, Chris McDonald, Bagger Vance.
Yeah, we love Chris. Yeah.
Chris McDonald, Brendan Fraser,
Oh my God.
Crispin Glover, John Sheck, Jeff Lawnmower Man Fahey, Jeffrey Dean Morgan. He hadn't been Walking Dead huge yet. God, there was other notables. Courtney Gaines from Children of the Corn. Ray Liotta.
John Cusack.
No, John Cusack wasn't there. Ray Liotta was there. He was another one also, and we were all sitting on horses waiting to storm this campment that we were fighting. And we were waiting. It was a big John Ford shot, big crane shot. I went on later to play John Ford in Midway. But so it was a big crane shot, and we were all just sitting there waiting for the light to be right or something. And I just started cracking up. And I literally could start giggling and laughing. And Paxton says, "What's so funny, Blake?" And I looked down this line of men, about 20 deep of us, and I said, "Man, we were big in the 90s." Which I believe Billy Paxton said, yeah, and they paid us too. So yeah, that's my story of save your money.
Well, Geoffrey, where can the folks at home follow and support you? Because you're not on Twitter.
I'm not on Twitter. I'm on hiatus, but you can still say to me on Instagram. I'm at I won't be there till August. Geoffrey _Blake, GEOFFREY _Blake. That's one of my Instagram pages, and I have a more private one, but still public, under Geoffrey Blake 2020, I believe it is. And I'm not me on either one of them. They don't recognize me that I am authentically me.
You don't have the check mark, yeah.
No, they won't give me one, because I'm apparently not me. And that's where you can. I won't be back on Twitter. I dissolved my Facebook account as well because I was just really not interested in talking to people I went to high school with, and don't remember going to high school with them. And then I was too old for TikTok.
Yeah. But the good news is I'm going to train you how to do stand-up, and we're going to go on tour together.
I want to do that, man. Yeah, right. Let's think about things I could be funny about.
Let's do it. Yeah. Dude, I think you're the funniest, man. I love you. I'm going to... Next time I'm in LA, I'm going to text you and have you come down, and we'll get you 5.
Okay, 5 minutes to talk about whatever.
Yeah, and then we'll train. We'll build it up to 10 to 20. Yeah. Like that's how we'll do it.
I've always wondered. Like I imagine me. I imagine like just. I do know that I say to people in life, like in the grocery store the other day, this guy had on this like. It was like a pink shirt with like green flamingos on it. The other way around. I could see a green shirt with pink flamingos on it, but it was a pink shirt with green flamingos, right?
Yeah.
And I just said to him, I go, so I'm just curious. So you were actually like standing in a store and you actually saw that and said, that's me. I got to have that. That is just going to be a chick magnet, or what is that saying? That's going to show that I have irony. What behind it was a gift? Gift.
You're right.
Okay. Well, what's behind that? I really want to know, because it's like I never would have thought of a pink shirt with green flamingos. And I got to tell you, it's a really ugly shirt. So,
But so here's how I would take that story and like put a little punch to it. I'd be like, so here's $20. Can I have the shirt?
Right. So here's $20. Can I name your price? What do I need to buy that shirt?
Well, Geoffrey, I love you very much. If you could stay on for 1 second after I end this, I have a question off the clock for you.
You got it.
All right. And subscribe, rate, review, and we'll see you guys next time.
You're listening to Reza Riffs with Keith Reza and Alan Lee, right here on LA Talk Radio.